Welcome to the Evo India podcast, where this week we are talking about the cars that we've driven in February. Now, of course, you'll be watching this immediately after the Formula One race, the inaugural Grand Prix in Australia. Aatish, your predictions?
Look, FP1 Ferrari was fastest. We're recording this right after that, so my hopes are sky high. But as a Ferrari fan, I'm not going to get excited till the last race of the season because I don't know what's going to happen with them.
Now, I'm wearing an Audi Formula One t-shirt, but obviously heart is red. Okay, blood beats red. This could be our year. Fingers
like
crossed.
I said, I'm not getting excited till the last race of the season. Even if they win Australia, I'm not getting excited.
And if Hamilton wins, man, that will be something. I'm really excited about the new rules, what's going to happen with the cars, whether Aston Martin will do more than 3 laps.
I doubt it. But yeah, the start's going to be exciting. Everyone's been talking about the start and how that's going to be very difficult to get right. I don't know who's been sandbagging. Is Mercedes actually sandbagging? Do they have a lot of power
because
in that engine?
pre-season it was all about, Mercedes is going to knock it out of the park with their power unit.
And then McLaren has the Mercedes power unit. So who's to say that they're not on top still? So it can go anywhere, and that's the beauty of the first race of the season.
Anyway, no point nattering about this because the race would have been done by the time this podcast has gone live. So let's hope, fingers crossed, it's going to be a great season. That much for sure. Did you watch the MotoGP?
I did, crazy. And what a pity for Mark.
But still, Ducati is not right on top. So that gives us a lot of hope.
It'll be a proper fight this season.
And there is an Indian angle to it.
Yes.
KTM is now owned by Bajaj.
KTM is now owned by Bajaj, and there's an MOU signed to bring MotoGP back to India. So, and that could be Bajaj's push, huh?
Maybe. And also, Karan Adani, he made statements that he wants to bring Formula One back to India. Also, the rumor is, or maybe it's already done, who knows, but BIC is now going to be taken over by the Adani Group.
And that's where the statements come from.
So, for motorsport enthusiasts in India, there is so much happening.
And actually, there was so much action in the last week also. Red Bull did that Red Bull MotoJam where they got Vettel's Red Bull winning, 2012 winning car down. It won the Indian Grand Prix, it won the season. And Karan took it for laps of the BIC. It's actually the first time an F1 car has been back to BIC. Think about all the times we've been there in the last 10 years, how much driving we've done there, but there was never an F1 car there.
And also, we have Indian origin driver, Arvid Lindblad. Now, he's not Indian, but he's got Indian origin.
His mom's Indian.
So there is some Indian angle in Formula One. So all in all, looking really great. But let's come down to the topic at hand. The cars we've driven in February. I'm Sirish Chandran, editor at Evo India.
Aatish Mishra, executive editor at Evo India.
And this week, or this month, the biggest and the most important car that we've driven is actually what you drove. And that's the CLA, which you can't really talk about the driving impressions
yet because we're still under embargo. The embargo lifts on the 10th, I think. So we've still got some time to go before I can tell you what I think about how it's like to drive. But we can certainly talk about the India spec car and what it's like.
Okay, so this is the Mercedes-Benz CLA. It's an electric. Now, globally, they have electric and they also have a new hybrid powertrain. The hybrid is not coming to India.
Not yet.
Now, we have to be honest about it. When I drove it in Europe, I predicted that the hybrid would also come to India, but the hybrid is not coming because it would be too expensive to bring the hybrid to India. So right now, only the electric. Now, when I drove it there, the two issues that I thought would have a problem for India, number one, ground clearance. And number two, the glass roof. Now, both these things are not driving impressions. So this is something that you can tell me about because you probably have seen it. No, so not probably. You have seen
I've
it,
driven
right?
it. And they fixed one, they've not fixed one. The ground clearance has been jacked up for India. So the suspension gets a higher ground clearance and it gets a complete retune, obviously, for our roads.
And you can see it because the gap in the wheel arch has also increased. Now, one thing about that is when you raise a car, now the reason why these cars are low is for better aero. And with all electric cars, aero is everything because better aero, you get more range. Now, using the same European range figures is inaccurate, and I think that's what has been quoted, but that cannot be accurate because if you raise the ground clearance, that means aerodynamics obviously 100%. Will take a beating,
100%.
Which means the range will drop. But that said,
I want to say a lot of things about the range and my impressions on it, but I can't.
But the quoted range, 792 kilometers something?
Yes, WLTP.
Yeah, so even if 792 becomes 750 kilometers, that kills range anxiety, right? You'd be mad to talk about range anxiety. petrol cars don't give you that kind of range. I'm using an E-Class. We'll talk about that maybe later on if we have time. But I've been using an E-Class for the last couple of months. The diesel E220D.
What, 1,000 kilometers?
1,000 kilometers on a tank full of diesel.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And the car before that I was using was the GLE 53 AMG.
Yeah.
So this is like
400
superb.
kilometers.
Like 1,000 kilometers on a tank is incredible.
Yeah.
Now this, if it gives you 750 kilometers, so chalo, real world you get 600. Man, that's more than enough.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
So that sorts out one issue.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, ride and handling you can't talk about.
I can't say.
When I drove it in Europe, now, Europe, where do you get speed breakers? Where do you get potholes? So I really can't give you any impressions about the ride. But the handling was pretty sorted.
I can't say anything.
So that was good. Now, what you need to tell me, okay, and this is not, I'm not asking you for a driving impression. That glass roof, has that been sorted out?
It hasn't. So I can't give you an opinion on what I think about it because opinions are an embargo. But I can tell you that it has a glass roof and it's exactly what you get in Europe.
Okay.
Is it ideal for India? Again, that's opinion.
Yeah.
Can't say. But I have a sensitive head. You know, so I know.
So basically, you'll have to do like you put 3M film on the side. You have to put a 3M film.
So they have
on
a
the
film
roof
on
also.
it. They have a film on it.
That's OE.
That's OE.
Okay.
Okay. It's not a blackout film, but it's supposed to cut UV and heat and glare significantly. Okay. And once I can say more, I'll say more.
Okay. I'm also looking forward to driving it. I wasn't in India. I was in San Francisco of all places for a phone launch of all places, which everybody asked me like, what the hell is going on?
Sirish living the influencer life.
Well, this is actually, we living the tech life. And fact is that all the content that you see on our social media feeds, it's all shot on phones.
Yeah.
So we are actually a Pro Max phone user.
Yeah.
And all our opinions revolve around how a phone fits into the lifestyle and the needs and use cases of an automotive enthusiast.
And as automotive journalists, we also need to upskill in the tech department because at the CLA launch, I think half the presentation was about the tech in the CLA.
Yep.
You know, they've got these 4 NVIDIA chips and what you can do with it and the AI integration and the natural speaking that you can do with the car and then the features that the AI gives it and then how 32 controllers are now down to these 4 AI chips. And it's very, very electronics heavy.
Yeah.
You know?
And talking about AI, the Samsung S26 Ultra, that's the launch that I went for. That's all about AI and the stuff that AI can do. And now it uses AI natively on the device. So it's not connected to the cloud. So even if you don't have network, you can still fool around with AI.
It must be a battery sucker, no?
Actually not, because I was using the phone and I didn't notice.
I would think AI would nicely chew power.
Actually not.
Okay.
But we will be using the phone extensively. Especially, it's got this new cool feature called Horizon Lock. And now, even if you got really shaky hands like our man Aatish has, you can still get a nice, crisp, non-shaky video, which is really good. The photos were really good. So I actually did some content with Waymos over there. And one of the Evo India readers, he's messaged me on Instagram and took me for a drive in his Z4.
Nice.
And that was nice going down the Pacific Coast Highway. So I did some shoots with that. And our guys are actually now in Ladakh doing a really cool story. And they also got some content coming up with that S26.
Yeah.
So all of that coming up on our social handles.
Yes, sir.
So anyway, so because of that, I wasn't in Bangalore for the CLA reveal. But I think it's very interesting. Now, the question that we will not have an answer for is whether India will move away from the obsession with SUVs and look at a sedan.
It's hard to say. Now, Mercedes is, and Santosh was quite bullish about this. He said, Santosh Iyer, who's the CEO of Mercedes-Benz India, he said, look, it's a CBU. We know that, but we have to price it like a CKD. And I asked him what happens to profitability. He says it goes out the window, but it's important for us. This is an important car for us.
Yeah.
It's their first proper EV, you know, like they've got EVs before.
EQS is also proper.
No, but on a dedicated 800 volt EV architecture, you know, the way...
EQS was also on a dedicated EV architecture, not 800 volt,
but
that was also dedicated,
correct. But this
born EV types.
Yeah, but this is...
more mass market.
More mass, and I think they've put more heart and soul and more effort into this. You know, you can see it in the product itself, the way that it drives, the way that they've done it. It feels more complete as a car. Opinion?
Yeah, no, you can say it looks more complete. Yeah, but so I've driven it.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's very nice.
Yeah.
The only big difference that I see from the European spec and the Indian spec is that the third screen is not a screen. It's just that lit display, but it's not a full screen.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it's as big as a C-Class.
Yeah.
At least in terms of size, is as big as a C-Class. So
it's actually wider than a C-Class.
Yeah. So visually, it looked like it's as big and it's got as much of road presence. But the thing is that, our roads are just becoming worse and worse. And our speed breakers are becoming ridiculous in terms of the shape and all that. Like the E-Class has got really good ground clearance, yet you have to be careful over speed breakers because it does touch. So this is a proper headache.
It is.
And then you drive a car like a CLA, which even though it's got ground clearance jacked up for India, it's not going to be great. So you have to be careful over speed breakers. And then when you have got 4 people in it,
100%.
means you properly have got to be careful. So that's the whole SUV versus sedans debate.
Yeah.
Which maybe in 6 months we'll know.
Yeah.
But then by then, actually not by then, because the GLC Electric is also going to come to India. And I think the CLA will do the job
till the
GLC Electric comes.
True.
And then when the GLC Electric comes, that will take everything that the CLA has done and run with it.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's interesting. Another interesting car that you saw, I also had a peek at it. I can't tell you where, but I did have a peek at it. I did see it. And I think the time is ripe for India.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the V-Class.
100%.
Yeah. 3.5 meter long wheelbase.
Yeah. 3.5 meter long wheelbase, 5.5 meter long car.
Yep.
It's
massive.
Yeah.
It's like
it's a bus.
It's an extended wheelbase V-Class.
I told all the Copcom guys at Merck, please have spare tail lamps ready because journalists are going to knock those tail lamps out. It's massive. You've got to be really skilled to be able to drive that car. It's like a bus. Yeah. Genuinely.
Yeah. But the V-Class, okay. Let's talk about the V-Class when it came to India and why we don't see too many of it on the road. The V-Class was great in terms of the use case, which is having a really comfortable back seat.
Yeah.
We drove it to the run of Kutch.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, we went to do a story. So we took Bhupesh Reddy, Brent Garage's 488 Pista, and we drove it in the run. And the V-Class was our car to take us to the run, to Dasara, and a support car for the shoot. Yeah. And we loved it. It was really comfortable. All through, everybody at the back fast asleep because it's so comfortable.
It was insane.
But the V-Class was not really spec'd all that well for a Mercedes. For instance, it didn't have air suspension.
Yes.
It was kind of basic.
Yeah, the back seats didn't have those first class seats. They had captain seats, but that was it.
Yes. Whereas here, Mercedes is going all bells and whistles.
Yeah.
So Airmatic, those seats.
So Airmatic's actually, this is the first country where both drivetrains get Airmatic.
Okay, the diesel and the petrol.
Yeah. Usually it's petrol only, I think.
Okay, yeah. So we got petrol and diesel. So in Delhi, obviously nobody buys diesels. Yeah. So you got petrols. Rest of the country, obviously you'll buy a diesel, right? So you got both powertrains.
Yeah.
You got Airmatic suspension.
Yes.
The seats.
So you've got first class seats, and these are.
What are first class seats?
So first class seats, basically they're like armchairs. You've got proper calf support which can come up and you can recline fully back, lie down almost. They've got massage, they've got heating, they've got memory, they've got.
All seats have got massage.
No, so 2.
Okay. The middle, so captain seats.
Yeah, and we'll get to the middle or the back because you can actually move things around. It's fully modular, right?
Okay.
So you get 2 first class seats in the car. Let's put it that way. And they get a wireless phone charger integrated into the armrest. You get storage. It's like a Welfare seat where it's really specced out, really comfortable, very plush, very spacious.
And as comfortable as a Welfare seat?
I've actually never sat in a Welfare.
No?
I've never sat in a Welfare.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be able to answer that, but very comfortable, very nice. Definitely a step up, proper step up from the Carnivals and the MGM9s and that kind of stuff. You know.
Okay.
Now, what I really like what Mercedes is doing is what they've done in terms of the seat offering. So, like I said, you get 2 first class seats and you can have 3 seating layouts.
Okay.
So you can get a standard seating layout, which is your default with all seats facing forward. So you've got your front row seats, then you've got your middle first class seats facing forward, and then you've got a third row, which is basically captain seats, but none of the first class features facing forward.
Okay.
You can have a second layout, which is like a conference room style, where you've got the first class seats now moved all the way to the back, and then the captain seats facing forwards, right behind the driver's seat, facing backwards.
Yeah.
I need to add that those captain seats have ventilation, not massage and all the other stuff. Then there's a third seating layout where you can just take out those Sada captain seats, throw them out, and then you've got a V-Class with like not knee room but people room, Like you can lie down between the back seat and the front seat. It's massive. Then it's a 4-seater, like how the LM is.
Okay.
But unlike the LM, you don't get that privacy curtain, the partition, and all of that kind of stuff.
And 1.4 crores.
Yeah.
Which is actually not ridiculous money.
It's not. It's
the
welfare money.
Is 1.2.
Yeah.
This is 1.4. It's a Mercedes compared to a Toyota.
And they're assembling here.
And they're assembling it here. Yeah. And the LM is, I think, some 2.5.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So it's not ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah.
So you see a lot of these Velfires now on the road, and they're used by like Bollywood and also
you see Velfire taxis.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah. You see Velfire, like there are fleets of Velfire taxis in cities for the VVIPs who want to be moving around.
So people for whom being seen stepping out of car is not a big deal.
Yeah.
They already have nice cars, and now they just want a comfortable car that really suits their needs. Perfect.
Yeah.
So obviously it's not going to eat in the SUV market because a lot of people want to be seen stepping out of a GLS or a GLS Maybach.
No, but I think enough people have moved beyond
that. Exactly, yeah, because the market now has grown. And when you have more players, like we have now Toyota, Lexus, Mercedes coming back in, so that segment can only grow. And I think it's great.
Yeah.
Like I've told the Mercedes guys that please give me one in June when I go for my annual holiday. And I can take the whole family now with me. Yeah. So half of them don't have to fly down and half drive down, but everybody can drive down.
It's not going to fit in the roads in Goa if that's where you're planning to go.
Okay, chalo, now driving test. So that's the V-Class. What else?
Should we talk Punch about EV?
Okay.
That was also something we just quickly drove.
You drove the Punch EV in Kochi?
Kochi, yeah.
Now, for the first time, I've seen a car in terms of design, okay? The connected light, that whole tube light that we talk about in the front, somebody deleting a tube light.
But they added one at the back, so they made up for it.
Yeah, but that's the first time I've seen that you're deleting, and I don't think it can cost that much. Now, it's become better, no, in terms of value for money.
100%. It's about 1.8 lakhs cheaper at the top end, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So it's a facelift. It's obviously improved in certain aspects. For example, it has more battery capacity. But the price has gone down. And I was stumped. I was like, how is this possible? But they've actually done a lot of interesting stuff to it. So facelifts usually have a lot of superficial changes. You'll get a new face, you'll get new interiors, more features. This would have all been planned in the product pipeline earlier. But that's not the case here. What they've done is under the skin. They've completely changed it under the skin, which I think is...
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me more.
So the cells are different. The same cells, but now they're not cylindrical. They're prismatic.
Okay.
So they can be packaged better.
Okay.
So they fit in 40 kilowatt hours instead of 35 kilowatt hours, which was before, and 30 instead.
So same space, but more battery capacity.
Yes. So more battery capacity. And then the big change is to the drivetrain and the electronic controllers. So earlier they had a bigger, more bulky, more costly unit. Now they've got this 6-in-1 unit, which is basically motor, which is transmission, which is your DC-DC converters, your power delivery controllers, all the high voltage components in one unit. So it uses a lot less in terms of semiconductors and chips and stuff like that. Less cabling, less all of that. It's a lower spec motor. The earlier motor made, I think, 190 Nm or something like that. This one makes 150 Nm. But then they've played with the gearing so that wheel torque remains the same.
Okay.
So performance hasn't dropped. In fact, it's half a second quicker according to the claim times. And so they've basically...
Range has gone up?
Range has gone up, obviously, because of the...
So that's what everybody wants with an EV?
Yeah, so it's about 10% better than before.
So you get 10% more range and prices dropped by 1.5 lakhs.
And it's...
What's not to like?
And it's as quick. It's not like performance has dropped. You can't feel the performance drop. So there's really nothing to criticize about it except for the fact that it doesn't have rear AC vents.
It's a small car, who cares?
Yeah, so it's hard to criticize. Doesn't have a spare also, so...
That's nothing has got a spare yet. That day, a friend of mine was looking at the 9S, which we'll talk about, and he was like, oh, where's the spare tire?
Yeah.
And like, you don't get spare tires.
It's hard to criticize, and when something goes cheaper by 1.5 lakh, how can you say anything bad about it? Nothing has changed on the interior. Nothing has changed on the exterior. It's very well loaded. It has a 360 camera. It has ventilated seats. It has everything you would want in a car. Okay, that gear thing is fiddly. That hasn't changed.
You get used to it.
I'm not a fan of the way Tata does regen. That hasn't changed. But it's basically the same car that was sold before, which was very popular. And now it's 1.5 lakh cheaper. At the bottom end, of course, the price delta is much smaller, 30,000 or something. But at the top end, it's crazy.
So Punch EV, a big tick mark from Aatish. I hope I get to drive it. Actually, while we're at it, any of you watching the podcast, do you know anybody or have you got delivery of your Tata Sierra?
Yeah, we'd want to drive it.
Please let us know. We like to drive one of the, because when we drove it, the engineer said that this is a pre-production, and the stuff that we pointed out, then they said that this will be sorted out. So we really are itching to drive one of the production cars. So if any of y'all have a Sierra or know of somebody who has a Sierra, please get in touch with us. We'd love to drive your Sierra and see what it's all about.
Yeah, what's next?
Next, Octavia RS.
Octavia RS. That's also something we drove. And we did a cool story. Should we reveal what story we're doing or wait for the...
I think it's going to be some time away until we put it out. So I think hold your horses.
Yeah.
But just the Octavia RS, I didn't drive it all that much. It was really busy times when the car came. I drove it a lot in the city. And I thought the ride comfort was damn good.
It's so useful.
Yeah, for a performance car, and it has got like genuine performance.
Yeah.
Wow, it was like really comfortable.
Absolutely.
It didn't touch anywhere.
No.
Like you're like, oh no, go slowly over speed breaker. Then no, one time obviously you braked a little bit late for a speed breaker, so you released the brakes before hitting the speed breaker. Went over it and it's fine.
Yeah.
There's no problem. And this is me who's been driving an E-Class every day, jumping into the RS. And obviously, the first thing you'll notice is the suspension is hard. But I actually, after a while, I thought that, man, this can be a daily driver.
Absolutely can. And it's so planned. It's so comfortable. There's no reason, like, it's not like your partner will be like, Arey yaar, why you're taking out the RS again? It's so stiff. It's so... Nobody's going to say that.
Yeah.
It's very comfortable and it's got the performance.
Yeah.
What's not to love?
I love it.
Yeah.
And now with that EU FTA, if and when it gets activated, the prices of this will drop by like 5-10 lakhs.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that's what the FTA will do. It won't change prices of cars that are already assembled here. So C-Class, E-Class, GLE, GLC.
What the big bosses are saying is that even CBUs won't change that much because of the euro weakening and all the...
that's because it has to go down, man. Come on. Aatish, don't listen to them.
Don't listen to them, but when it happens...
You've got to push back, man. You're a journalist. You've got to push back because obviously everybody is hedging their bets. And now, see, the huge fear in the car industry is that people stop buying cars and wait for a year until the FTA gets activated.
Yeah.
Cars like the RS, the Golf GTI, next lot of GTIs, prices will definitely go down.
Yeah.
Prices of E-Class, C-Class, all of that are not going to go down. That actually will go up because of this whole rupee tanking.
Yeah.
Right? But these cars, performance cars, low volume cars, all of that are going to become super interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm really looking forward to the day when maybe... Actually, this is going back to the days when the Octavia RS first came. Right? That was a 30 lakh rupee car. Right? So it's actually going back to what the Octavia RS was all about.
Octavia RS first came, it was a 13 lakh rupee car.
Okay, so those days are, bhuli jao.
Yeah.
Okay, that time 13 lakh rupees was also a lot of money.
Yeah. So adjusted for inflation, I think it'll be around 35 lakhs straight.
Yeah, so that's what I'm talking. It was a 30 lakh rupee car in today's money.
Yeah.
So we might, I don't think it'll ever go to 30 lakhs, but we might inch
closer
back to there.
One can hope.
Yeah.
And then residuals will tank of current
No, I don't think so, because
100%.
how many Octavia RSs are there?
How many ever there are?
These cars will only appreciate because more and more enthusiasts coming into the fold will increase the awareness for these cars.
Possible.
And these cars, I'm telling you, it'll hold value because these cars are also not bought by idiots.
Yeah.
They're bought by enthusiasts. So either they are like tuned and properly tuned, or they're stock chaka-chak.
Yeah.
What they call OE plus. It's a new term I actually learned.
Yeah.
OE plus.
Yeah.
So these OE plus cars it'll hold value. 911 prices. Okay. Once the FTA comes in, 100% 911 prices will come down because it's all made here. There are no CBU 911s. So 911 prices will come down. Does that mean older 911 prices will also go down? No chance. The market will only grow. You'll have more people getting to the market, which will increase the appreciation for the older cars. So that's a pipe dream, thinking that now I'll get a affordable Cayman and all. It's never going to happen. If you see something, you buy it now. If you wait, prices will only go up. I know from personal experience. So if you see something now's the time to buy it. How much longer are you going to wait?
Yeah,
you can wait until eternity, and then you'll become a doddering old fool thinking that, when I was 20, I should have bought it. So don't make that mistake. Anyway, Octavia RS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
100%. Yeah, I love the thing. I really love the
When
thing.
the next batch comes, put your foot in the door quickly. Call your dealer, hound them, make sure you get one.
And also look out for the Golf GTS.
And Kodiaq RS is coming.
Kodiaq RS is coming. Okay, I've been a huge fan of it and I've been very vocal about Kodiaq RS. It should come to India. But let's also be clear about it. It's no Octavia RS.
No.
Right? It's a Kodiaq with stiffer suspension and a big
power.
engine.
Yeah. Same engine, more power.
Yeah. Same engine and more power. Yeah. So it will not give you the joys that Octavia RS will give you. Nowhere close.
It's more
practical and all of that.
Yeah, but as we found out, the RS is pretty practical.
And that boot of the RS.
Yeah.
It's like a massive boot on that RS.
No, but I'm excited for the Kodiaq RS. I think Skoda needs a nice, strong, powerful Kodiaq. You know, I mean, okay, the Kodiaq has got a lot more power now, this generation compared to the older one. But even
this
more power,
generation is not the same as the older generation to drive.
Absolutely.
Yeah. In fact, we should have got Prashant on this podcast because he drove the Tayron. And okay, neither of us have driven the Tayron. We've driven the Tiguan. The Tayron is the 7-seater version, a little softer. But he says the Tayron is excellent to drive. So everything that we know and love about the Tiguan, you find everything, maybe 92% of it in the Tayron with the added practicality and with the biggest plus point. And that's the price.
Yeah.
Under 50 lakh rupees.
The CKD.
Yeah, CKD. So it's excellent. We all were thinking there'll be 55, 60 lakh rupees, but under 50 lakh rupees, which is excellent.
Yeah.
You know, so with the Tayron, the styling is something that I don't like as much as the Tiguan, but again, see, styling is personal, right? Okay.
And they're so close here, they look almost the same.
But I think it's great. Yeah. And plus, they've sorted out all those little quirks of the Tiguan where you had manual seats and all of that. No, so all the things are all sorted with the Tayron. I think the Tayron will sell better than the Kodiaq. Cool. It'll have more demand and it'll have more of that draw, that
desirability.
Want. Yeah. You'll see more of that with the Tayron. I think that's like, VW now going back to, they've been very thanda of late. Now it's VW going back to their hero cars.
Yeah.
Because VW was always about the top end and then that filtering down the line.
Yeah.
They had forgotten about the hero
end.
cars.
Yeah.
Right? They have the Golf GTI and obviously next lot when it comes, right? But now the Tayron, now it's back to doing what a top end VW is supposed to do. And that's draw in that desirability. In fact, and we'll do it sometime when we get both the cars together, but Tayron versus Mercedes GLC or BMW X3,
the value that these cars are offering is insane. And they're giving you the German...
to discount the Tayron. It'll be hard not to recommend the Tayron. Let's put it that way. Yeah. So 100%. That's the Tayron. Now, keeping with the same group, the same family, you drove the Cayenne Electric.
I didn't drive it. I got a passenger seat ride.
Okay.
So first drives in the world, the global first drives haven't happened yet. But
what is it like?
Can I swear? It's nuts. Okay. That Cayenne Electric, 1500 Nm of torque with launch control, 1100 bhp in the standard turbo. This is not even when you go turbo GT, VT, all that crazy stuff they do with their cars. This is just your regular Cayenne turbo. 2.5 seconds 0 to 100. It was a damp day. It still knocked the wind out of me. Yeah. I made the mistake. I was so excited, like, oh, we're going to experience launch control and all. And we're guilty of this. We get these fast cars all the time and we give all our friends and everybody in the office these launch control experiences and watch them shit themselves, basically. So I didn't think it would affect me. I was playing around with that passenger screen, putting the G-force meter on, putting the speedo on so I could see what's happening. Nothing. I didn't see anything. My eyes were wide with terror and I forgot to put my head back on the seat. So when he launched, I slammed into the seat. It was hard. It was violent. And it actually hurt, physically hurt for a bit. And then, it was just a quick launch control. They get up to 120, then they go through a little bit of a corner section and they go on to some bankings. Feels very stable from the passenger seat. Not much I can say, honestly, from the passenger seat. But yeah, it was insane to feel the acceleration of that car. And I wrote in my post about this also, engines are awesome, but engines can't do 2.5 seconds in a 3-ton car like that. It needs to be a Veyron or something, Chiron for that to happen.
Or like the T hybrid in the
or a hybrid. Yeah, but it's electricity doing that.
Yes.
So it's the electricity that's doing that, and it's insane. You know, it's a big, heavy car. It's huge. Like, it's bigger than a standard Cayenne. You can see it. You know, when you walk up to it, it's imposing. I still think the older Cayenne looks better. This one's a little too soft in terms of its styling. I think all the aero that they need to do to get range. But yeah, mad car.
Yeah, this being a podcast where we have our own personal opinions.
Yeah.
I'm actually warming up to the first gen Cayenne.
Yeah.
It was pig ugly.
It was.
When it was launched. It was like, you know, it had a face only its mother could love. And even a mother, would struggle.
What's doing this? It's rose-tinted glasses and all those crazy off-road videos from Saudi and Dubai that's doing it.
Yeah, so like a first gen Cayenne, you jack it up, put off-road tires,
It'll
take
have
into
that NATAS V8.
Yeah, like a Dakar spec first gen Cayenne, a Cayenne turbo.
Yeah.
Man, that would be like, that would be wild, right?
Yeah, the GTS had the NATAS engine, if I'm not wrong.
Yes. Yeah.
That'll probably be a little more reliable.
Only thing though, that Cayenne, if something goes wrong, means sell the house. There's no other way you can get it back on the road. But otherwise, that first gen Cayenne with a nice kit on it, nice wheels, race suspension.
A lot of people doing this now.
Yeah.
Overlanding in there and putting tents on the roof.
Fucking Instagram, man. All the time is throwing me these things. But
and where the Cayennes come. But also, while we're there, we're talking about the production. So we went there to see the production. You know, passenger ride was just part of it. It was like 5 minutes of it. We were there for 2 days to see the production and the facilities over there. We saw their battery assembly line, which is where they actually make the modules for the battery. So usually this is something that a supplier would do, put together modules, make a battery pack and send it to you. But these guys are very focused on doing it themselves. And you walk into that battery factory and there's that quote from Ferdinand Porsche, which says, if there's no car.
The last car ever made will be a sports
car.
No.
It's the other one. It's the one where he says, I couldn't find a car that I wanted, so I built it myself. You know, something along those lines. And that is the perspective that they built that smart battery factory with. They were like, there's no batteries or modules in the market right now that can deliver the sort of performance we want for this Cayenne, which is, I can attest to, ridiculous performance. So they're going to build it themselves. You know, so they have very tight control over the process, the manufacturing, all of that of these modules. And then they send them over to their factory in Bratislava, where all of these big VW Group SUVs are made. Cayenne, Q8, all of them. And it's built on the same line as the current Cayenne, which again I found interesting. You know, they didn't make a whole new line, obviously, because volumes are probably going to be low at the start. They need to have that adjustability. So they modified the new line, the same line, and they've got this EV in there.
You know, Aatish and dear viewer, even with the best will in the world, it's really hard to get excited by production line for an electric car. You go to an ICE facility, you see the engine getting made into the car, and
this is all robots. So when you talk about that, fun fact, that battery assembly plant, I saw one person on the entire production line. One person. They were just screwing on one plate, the top plate.
Is it like one of those Chinese dark factories? No, you can switch off the lights and the production.
There's a lot of people who work at the factory, but they're all there as maintenance for the robots that actually do the work there. You know?
So we are becoming slaves to the robots. See, nothing against Porsche or whoever, but to me, as somebody dyed in the wool petrol head, I think EVs are great. If you're buying a city car today, you'll be a fool to buy a petrol or a diesel. Buy an EV. It makes the most sense. In the city, stuck in traffic, what are you going to do with a manual? Right? There's nothing it's perfect. An electric car as your primary city runabout is perfect. Obviously, you're not going to wake up at 5 a.m. on a Sunday to go for a drive in an EV. But for that, you have your nice ICE car, buy an older car, take care of it. The joys of taking care of that car also come into the picture. But an EV, a luxury EV, I don't know. And also Porsche, they've invested like so much in EVs. And now they're backtracking. So all those billions spent in development of the electric 718 platform, all of that being shuttered. And then what happens to Audi's Concept C? That was supposed to be based off that 718, supposed to straddle their old TT and the R8 something in between. That was supposed to be their hero car.
The only hope is they take the GT4 RS platform and do something with it.
Yeah, so and they were talking about the 718 putting an engine into that electric platform, which would have also cost a shit ton of money to re-engineer, but at least they could have done something with it. And now the talk is of shuttering that entire thing and sticking with the current ICE line. So I don't know what's happening. And because of that, the profitability has tanked, tanked absolutely. So it's crazy times for those who've gone all in on EVs. And that's where BMW has come out shining, because they offer you a petrol, a diesel, a hybrid, or an EV with the same car. You pick what you want. Pick your poison. So I think that's sensible, and that's now what everybody is moving towards. And that's the same strategy that Tata Motors have adopted in India in comparison to Mahindra. Right? And now Mahindra are also going back to that with their next generation. In fact, we've been sent spy pictures of the Vision S being tested in Ladakh.
Interesting.
And that looks... Aatish, watch the Evo India feed. You'll see some pictures.
I'm busy working, Sirish. I'm not looking at Instagram.
So it looks cool, and it's on the road. So it's on the road. It's being tested. All of it being readied for next year. On an earnings call, Mahindra did say that, yes, next year all this is coming. So it's actually interesting times. Lots of new cars coming. But anyway, we digress as always. Let's go back to the cars that we drove. Now,
what's next?
Actually, while you were in Bratislava, I was also in Europe.
Oh, yeah.
And I was there for the new, can't call it new, but the S-Class update launch. Now, Mercedes say that there's some 50% new parts on this S-Class. It looks the same. And in fact, the interior's got more screens. So a lot of that tactility of the S-Class has been removed from it. But an S-Class is an S-Class. In terms of ultimate luxury, nobody does luxury better than an S-Class. And what I got really excited about was the new V8 engine. Now, when the S-Class comes to India, it's not going to get that V8 engine. But that V8 is a flat, plain crank V8.
Sounds nice.
They didn't start
it up. Oh,
no. So we actually did have a passenger ride with the chief engineer. But sitting inside an S-Class, you can hear that faint growl and all that. So, and obviously, in the S-Class is tuned for being an S-Class, right? Being a really fast barnstormer. But that V8 will go into the next generation of AMGs. Now, AMG, with the C63, for instance, now they moved from a V8 to a 4-cylinder. And even though we've driven that 4-cylinder extensively and we know it's a bonkers, mad, really fast car, it's still a 4-cylinder. And you don't grow up wanting a 4-cylinder. Now the V8 will come back into the 63s, and that's AMG listening to their audience, listening to everybody.
Being forced to listen.
And the V8 is going to come back, and that's going to be this V8.
Good. New V8s.
Right? So V8s are coming. Right? And also that launch, the S-Class launch, I must talk about it. I met Roger Federer.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
That was crazy. And he was there for the entire launch. It's not like he came, made a fleeting appearance, and then buzzed off. He was there throughout. In fact, we left and he was still there. At the evening. And this launch was in the Mercedes-Benz Museum. Now, Stuttgart has the Porsche Museum and the Mercedes-Benz Museum, the two best automotive museums in the world. And the Mercedes-Benz Museum, obviously, they were the inventor of the car. So they've got just so much of history. And that museum is, for any petrol head, it's the ultimate place to spend an entire day because it's got everything. It's got absolutely, it tells you the history of the car. It's fabulous. And then to have the launch at the museum surrounded by these cars in this historic setting. I've been to a lot of car launches and I'm kind of jaded now. Like, a car launch is a car launch. Now, how different can it be? And that launch was out of this world. Right? And obviously to go with the S-Class, right? The best or nothing. And this launch was,
and they had all the older cars there. They had those holograms.
But they didn't have the 140. I don't know why. Because to me, that was the S-Class, that conveyed wealth, status, power, don't fuck with me. That was the ultimate S-Class. They didn't have that one S-Class. They had everything else except for that one S-Class. So I don't know why. They didn't want the Dictator Special. They didn't want Saddam's car. But that was the coolest S-Class to me. And in my mind's eye, that is the S-Class. Right? The earlier ones, I'm too young to really identify with the earlier ones, even though I've read now a lot about it and everything. But the 140 is, in my mind, I don't know about that. But apart from that, they had all the other older S-Classes. And it was a absolute historic setting.
Yeah.
And after that, And S-Class took off and is going to be doing 140 countries.
Oh, wow.
Going to be driving around
Coming
the
here?
world.
Must be.
I'm sure it'll come
Yeah.
here. Yeah. So sometime around we'll probably catch it here. And
Spy
if it's
shots.
going to come to India, it'll probably come to the plant in Pune. So in
Backyard.
our neck of the woods. So So that was the S-Class. I was also, I think a week or 2 weeks later, I went back to Europe, went to Finland to drive the Audi S5.
Yeah. Slightly more interesting than my battery factory.
Yep.
Slightly.
So, okay, this S-Class, that the S5 that I drove, not going to come to India because that was the S5 Avant. But the S5 is going to be coming to India, the new generation S5.
When Audi
With
decides to...
Yeah, I know, when Audi decides to come.
Yeah.
But it will come to India. I don't know when. But the S5, very nice, got a V6 engine, nice sound, ICE, that feel of a petrol-powered car. Only thing now they're moving to their new interior architecture, and I'm not a big fan of that. Now, it takes away from Audi's old, built like a tank, tactile feel architecture. But apart from that, very nice to drive. And we spent 2.5 days drifting on ice.
Yeah.
And
That's what I'm talking about, yeah.
And I was tasked with training Neeraj Chopra, Olympic gold medalist, and I was teaching him how to drift.
Crazy.
I never thought that I could put this on my CV.
Yeah.
But like, I trained an Olympic gold medalist to drift. And by the end of it, he was damn good.
Yeah.
Okay, on our fast lap, he lost and went into the snowbank and got stuck and all that jazz happened. But until then, he was really quick. Like, he was really quick. And I've always said this, and I still maintain it. Driving on ice, drifting on ice is the most fun that you can have with your clothes on. It's an incredible experience. And it's not only fun, but the amount of driving skill that it teaches you, that just helps you immensely. Makes you a smoother, faster, safer, more precise, and a more confident driver. So if you're looking for like a bucket list thing to tick off, something that, you're turning 40 and like you and your friends want to celebrate in like a really epic fashion, for driving enthusiasts, it costs a fair bit of money, 5 lakh rupees, give or take. Okay. But for a driving enthusiast, a winter driving experience, and especially these Audi ice drive experiences, are ultimate. I've done this, and I'm embarrassed saying this because I shouldn't be going for this so often, but I've been there like 5 times already. The first time I went there, that's when I got into my head that, I can pull off a Scandinavian flick, I can do the pendulum and all that, and I should put those skills into some use. And that's how I got into rallying. Because of that first ice drive experience that I did in, I think, 2010 or 2011. And since then, I've been there 5 times, and I can't wait to go back again.
Yeah.
It's just, do yourself a favor. If you want to do something epic to celebrate like an epic occasion, now do an ice driving experience. That's...
Yeah.
And speaking about Audi, I think 2 days or a couple of days after we did that ice driving experience, Audi lifted the wraps off the RS5.
The new
Avant.
RS5. Yeah, the hybridized.
Yeah. And I
Which
think
will drift.
Yeah, I think it looks wild.
Yeah.
So Audi did the RS6 Avant in India. And
Yeah.
I think that was a super cool car.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, didn't find buyers. So we were talking to Balbir, who's the head of Audi India, and telling him that, bring this Avant to India. And I can put myself in his shoes. You can't bring a car on a pure intuition, on just pure like, okay, chala to chala, nahi chala. You can't
Yeah,
work
because
like
you have
that.
to give service, you have to stock spares, you
Yeah.
have to do all of the jazz for it.
And now you know that Avants don't sell in India. I personally think that our market has probably evolved, and we might have people buying Avants,
I don't
but that
think
is
so.
just like a
Hunch. There's no evidence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just a hunch, and I could be absolutely wrong.
I think you're wrong. I don't think it's evolved.
So I don't think, anybody in their right minds and who are thinking about their company's money can press the button and say, okay, chalo, it's time to bring the RS5 Avant.
Yeah.
Luckily, there is also the Sportback. And I think the Sportback will come. We obviously had the RS5 before. Now this RS5 has really taken a huge step up.
Yeah.
So the 2.9 V6, along with a hybrid unit and proper plug-in hybrid. So I think 850 Newton meters of torque and drift mode.
Yeah.
So
the next Audi experience we do with these RS5s can be a drift training.
Yeah. So this will be really, and I think in terms of the styling, it's that brutal Audi thing, the stance, the anger, the muscle.
But somehow, for me, and this is where I interject, somehow for me, the older cars with their sharper creases, their sharper shoulder lines, these cars are just a little too soft for me. I still prefer the older, they're more angular, more, I don't know, the way the bodywork was done, the way the stamping was done, much more angular, much cooler.
Maybe once we see it in the flesh, we'll know for sure.
I've seen these new Audis, we've driven these RS, Q5s.
But like the RS5, probably when you see it in the flesh, but I think it's got that brutal, don't fuck with me face.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Audi did really well. And this is them going back to what they do really well.
Yeah.
And I think it should come to India.
Fair enough.
I'm sure it'll come to India. Only question is, when will it come to India? For now, we wait for the new Q3 to come, then the new Q5. The Q6 e-tron also will be coming this year, which is a little late to the party.
Sure, this year?
Well, as of now, I think this year, but now you never know. Yeah. So, but anyway, I hope it comes. See, I'm wearing an Audi t-shirt also. So, I'm rooting for you guys, Audi. Please bring these cars to India quickly. But the RS5, man, I think the past month, hottest car that's been out.
Possibly, yeah.
Hottest car that I've seen. Hottest new car that I've seen. Yep. And that brings us to the 9S. So, you drove it in Jaisalmer at the start of this year?
That was last year. 9S was last year.
Oh, okay. You drove it last year?
Yeah.
Oh, you drove the 7XO at Jaisalmer, yeah. 9S was last year in Bangalore.
Yeah.
Now we're driving it on roads that we know.
Yeah.
Now, the big change, the 9S, we know it's got 7 seats compared to the 9E's 5 seats, so that's there. But the big change was the suspension, which has been softened for allegedly because people thought that the 9E and the 6E were too stiff.
I think it's more like we were talking to Velu, it's a more city or user-focused car. The 9E is a more sporty car.
Yeah.
So that's why he softened it up. But I think they've a little bit botched it up here.
Yeah. So you talk us through.
Yeah. So what I feel is that it's a little too soft, and it's not soft in a good way. Of course, it'll absorb all the potholes and bumps. That's what we call secondary ride. Primary ride is how it just glides over the road, and there's constant vertical movement, which is not pleasant. And our roads are not smooth. Our roads constantly have these little bumps, undulations, pitter-patter, and the car's constantly reacting to all of that, and you're constantly feeling it. Your head is constantly doing a little bit of a jiggle in the car, which can get uncomfortable after some time.
So I think to address that, now on the top end version of the 9S, they've got a individual mode where you can set the suspension separately from the power delivery and all of that.
Sport does help.
And that is to tighten up the suspension.
Yeah, because this does have
that vertical movement.
It has those adjustable electronic dampers, the same ones as you get in the 9E.
Yep.
So you can tweak it. Sport mode does settle it down a little bit. But it's in the standard default mode, it is a little too
Which
soft.
is strange because Mahindra are not known for getting this wrong.
And then they did the 7XO, which nailed it, right after that. But I guess there's extra weight in this car also, which has to be accounted for.
True.
And it's a more complicated suspension system. And so something is...
The 3-screen setup, and I think Mahindra are doing something really interesting where now everything is getting these 3-screen setups.
Yeah, that's how they can offer it at competitive prices, because no matter what variant you're buying, you're getting 3 screens. So Mahindra's purchase department is just saying, give me everything you have, and they can get a great price for it, because their vendor is just selling them 3 screens. No 3 screens only for few units and 2 screens for separate units. And everything is just 3 screens. They can bargain, get a good price, put it in all the cars.
Yeah. And first time somebody sits in the car, that 3 screens thing does blow you away. Like, whoa, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, after a while, you might tire of it, but I don't know. I've been using the 9E for a while now, and I haven't tired of it.
Yeah.
So,
and a lot of people have come to me though with saying, what if something goes wrong? Do I have to change the whole thing? Then what? What's it going to cost me? So that's a valid question, which probably...
But you have insurance. Not warranty. Insurance, warranty. So
but after that, what?
After that, now it's some time away. Okay, and finally, we should end with the 2 cars that we've been using for a while now.
Our long-termers.
Okay. Our long-termers. So, Aatish, you've been using the Meridian.
Been using, it's gone now.
It's gone now.
The Jeep Meridian. Yeah, we had it for 3 months. Very nice car. I started out by asking the question, is the Meridian still relevant in 2026? Because it's an old car, and it's based on the Compass, which is an older car. So it's not young by any standards, but is it still relevant? And I think, I would say it is. You look at where it sits today, you've got the XUV and the Safari on one side, then you've got the Kodiaq and Tayron on the other side. It sits somewhere in the middle of that. In terms of value for money, sure, the XUV, the 7XO today kills it. It's just moved the game so far on. But if you want a traditional SUV without all the tech and the gimmicks and the features and all of that, just something that works, something that's classical in its styling, on its interiors and how it functions, good old diesel engine. It's that
sounds also like a good old diesel engine.
It is a good old diesel engine. It's a multi-jet diesel, which has been around for a long time now. Harrier, the Hector gets it, this gets it. So it's very nice. The things that I like about it, the interiors feel special. You've got a lot of suede on the inside, very premium materials, nice seats. The engine is very nice. It's a lazy diesel, loud thing. But you grow to love that. It's endearing almost. The gearbox is a little slow, I feel, especially in the city. It holds revs a little bit too high, but you get used to that also. The ride is something that I wasn't the biggest fan of. Just a little too stiff.
Too firm.
Yeah, too firm. Our roads aren't great, and you feel it kicks you a little bit here and there, and it's not as comfortable as I would have thought a Meridian should be. On the highway, it's imperious. It solid, flattens everything. But at slower speeds, when you're going over bumps, it's just not as comfortable as I would have liked it to be. Getting into 2026, there is relevance to it, and especially since now Jeep is pushing it hard. It's an old car, aging car. Jeep also knows that, so they're doing a lot of stuff around it. They're doing special editions. This whole next year we're going to see a lot of them. They're doing 7-year warranty, 7-year RSA, 7-year this, 7-year that. They're giving you guaranteed buybacks because they also know it's an old car. When you want to sell it 5 years from now, it'll be even older. So they're promising buybacks. So they're pushing it hard. And I think with all of that in the picture, there is relevance to it.
And also, because it hasn't sold so well, the styling still looks fresh.
I don't think that's why the styling looks fresh. I think it's just classical good styling. The headlamps in the right place, the grille is in the right place, the proportions are right. It just looks good.
And you don't see too many, so there's no fatigue.
Yeah. And it's got, and you know what? Actually, while driving this car, I started to realize something. I actually like chrome now. Am I getting old? It has a shit ton of chrome on it. The grille, the sides, the rear. It has so much chrome. And I'm looking at these black edition cars, these blacked out cars. I'm like, it's a little too. I think the moment is gone. I think chrome is back, and I actually like it.
White kurta for you, Aatish?
I think I'm getting old.
Also, Jeep have got plans for India. They aren't going anywhere. They recently announced strong plans.
So they're 2.0 plans where they said that there's a new SUV coming for India in 2027.
2027, so that's next year.
Will be made here and with an export focus, high localization. So they said that the current cars are localized around 65%, which I thought was much lower than I
should
thought.
Be more, right? Because the engine is made here and
65% localization, and they're trying to push for 91%. So prices will come down. Yeah, but they're planning to export to New Zealand, to Africa, to Australia.
Ride and drive markets, basically.
And to North America.
North America?
They said the plan is to export to North America. So I don't know what they're planning to build here. It could either be the new Compass, which is now globally unveiled, or it could be something to sit under the Compass.
I have a sense that this could be the Citroen platform that's underpinning all of Citroen's products.
Could be.
Jeep does not have a mass market affordable vehicle.
So they do something off of that.
Yeah, and you put a hybridized rear axle. So put an electric rear axle.
The 4xe, what they call it.
Yeah, so you get 4-wheel drive also.
Yeah.
You do a little jiggery pokery and shift around the bumpers a bit so you get better approach, departure angles, all of that. So it then fits in with Jeep's off-road rated and whatever they call. I think it is that.
Could be. Because there's no news or no rumors also of what it is.
And the Compass, if it were to come, it would have come now, when it has been globally unveiled. Yeah. But India is not on the radar for the next Compass.
It is a pity, in my opinion.
It is a pity, 100%. Because otherwise, why will they keep pushing the Meridian and the Compass, right?
Yeah.
They should have already transitioned to the new Compass.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be the Citroen platform.
Could be.
Which they're working on to improve, right? So the Basalt now is no longer that 3-star crash rated. Now it gets proper crash ratings.
You think it's the same platform? I think it could be a new second platform for bigger products for Citroen and Jeep.
Could be. Your guess is as we are just pure conjecture. But if I were one of the finance guys, and unfortunately today car companies are run by the finance guys, you would see that, okay, you invested X amount of money into this platform. Citroen is not selling anything in terms of decent volume. So you have to amortize costs. So now you put a more handsome top hat on it and sell it as a Jeep.
Yeah.
So I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong.
Wait and see.
And if it's only a year away, a new platform takes a long time to develop. A long time. So that work should have happened like 2 years ago.
Could be.
And Jeep were really not on Stellantis' focus. At least Jeep India weren't. Because if they were, the Compass would be here.
Yeah.
Right? So I think it's the Citroen platform. But let's wait.
Yeah.
Let's see what the future holds.
And then your long-termer.
The E-Class.
Yeah.
I'm getting old. But I love it.
Yeah, it's insane.
I love it. And I think I've done 5 in the past 2 months. 5 Mumbai-Pune trips for midnight flights.
Yeah.
And I've sat at the back. Comfortably sat at the back. Took a pillow from home, holding my pillow. Have a nice nap. Work on it. Do whatever. Instagram stuff. Write a story. It's excellent. Great ride comfort. The interiors feel really nice. The whole cabin ambience is great. Lots of legroom. Comfortable seats. Comfortable suspension. As long as you got a driver who drives well, it's excellent.
Yeah.
As a commuter, as something to be shuttled between cities, to drive in the city also. It's like my daily driver. And it does the job so well. The E-Class is Mercedes at its absolute best, at their peak. This is what Mercedes is all about. It's about making a statement. It looks good. You arrive in style. People notice you. It has everything that you would want except for cooled seats. How can you miss out cooled seats on a car like this? But apart from that, it has everything. In fact, the only thing I can criticize about the car is that when you put the center armrest up, sometimes like the car cleaner, he probably moves it up with quite a bit of effort and force, and the cup holders deploy. And then when you start driving, there's a rattle from the back. So the first time I'm like, my God, the E-Class started to rattle, brand new E-Class rattling. And then I realized it was that cup holder that had extended up on the center armrest at the rear seat. And that was going kar. And that's the only thing I can criticize about the car.
Wow.
And the fact that it doesn't have ventilated seats.
Yeah.
But apart from that, the sound system is damn good. The way it connects. Now you switch off the ADAS and it stays off.
Yeah.
You don't have to switch it off every single time. Your own personal settings. It's got a facial recognition thing, so you don't even have to press your finger on that fingerprint reader. It reads your face. Your settings are loaded onto the car. When I went for the S-Class launch, so I went to Bombay in the E-Class, it came back to Pune, then it came back to the airport to pick me up. And the S-Class was launched to celebrate 140 years of Mercedes-Benz. And they had sent a software update, over-the-air updates. And the third screen, the passenger screen, had 140 years on it. So on the way back, I saw this 140 years on the passenger screen. These are gimmicky.
Yeah.
It costs nothing, but it's delightful. When you are living with a car, these small things delight you.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of all the ambient lighting in the car. Other people hate it. I love it. I turn it up to the max, to the max brightness. I love the violet shade and this whole like violet purple inside the car, and I love it.
And good music system. I remember
damn good.
I borrowed it for you for one day, and the first thing I said, shit, the music system is so good. I just turned everything up to like high volume. I normally listen on like a medium volume.
So it's got 4D sound where the seats also go.
I didn't turn that on. I don't like that.
I switched it off.
Yeah.
Right. That's why you didn't feel it, because I switched it off. Yeah. That is frankly quite useless.
Yeah.
I would rather have ventilated seats. Yeah. And also the door handles. Yeah. Now they banned it in China from I think year after next or something like that. So they will have to move away from it. But otherwise, it's excellent.
Yeah.
If you want to buy a luxury car at a sub-crore price bracket, nothing like it.
Yeah.
And with the diesel, okay, it's not got like stonking performance or anything, nothing like that. But it gives you 100,000 kilometers to a tank.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you want performance, you have the E440,
450. Yeah.
With the petrol engine,
Correct.
with the six-cylinder petrol, which is great.
Excellent.
Yeah. Maybe after I'm done with the diesel, I'll ask Mercedes for the 450 petrol.
Yeah, ask them for one BPCL fuel card also.
Yeah, so that's the E-Class, and those are the cars that we've driven in February. Now we head into March. Lots of driving.
Insane.
And
Yeah, it's
it's launch after launch after launch. Lexus is going to showcase the IS.
No, ES. It's the ES. So we
It's
did
the
some.
ES.
Yeah, we did some little digging, researching. It's a new ES.
Okay, so the new ES is coming. Oh, so we made a mistake, huh?
No, we put it up as ES. We
Okay.
did the research before we put it up. Don't worry.
So Lexus is bringing the ES to India, which is obviously the new ES that they were shown.
Yes.
And it should be made here. I'm guessing. Yeah, it should be made
I mean,
here.
that's logical.
Yeah. We'll be driving the Duster.
Finally. Yeah.
In Rishikesh, so I'm sure there'll be a bit of off-roading and all of that to
I've
it.
driven it already, so...
Yeah, but you can't say anything about it. So the Duster. Before that, we're going to be driving the Kodiaq.
Yes.
Nothing new to it.
A little bit here there.
Okay. But anyway, so we're going to be driving the Kodiaq.
New gearbox, no?
New gearbox. That's right. Yeah. For the 1 liter.
Yeah.
Not the 1.5. Or even the 1.5.
No.
1.5 is the DST.
Yeah.
The DCT. DSG. DSG.
Yeah.
Right? So the Kodiaq, what else?
Then, what else?
You are driving the GLC Electric.
Yeah. If that happens, we were booked on an Emirates flight and we can't fly through Dubai anymore. So
I was damn lucky.
Yeah.
I was flying back from San Francisco via Dubai.
I think you missed it by a day?
I missed it by a day.
Yeah.
The next day, the airport shut.
Crazy.
So the guys coming the next day on the same flight, they got diverted. After 16 hours, they got diverted to Munich. I think they spent 2 days in Munich until they finally made it to India. So
Crazy.
I was damn lucky. Yeah. Knock on wood.
Yeah, so right now, the latest update is all flights are full to Europe. So
Yeah, would be. Yeah. So
I don't know if it's going to happen or not. Let's see.
Okay. I'm going to China
Okay.
to check out the S-Class Maybach.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So and I'm going to China. The last time I went was pre-COVID. So I'm actually excited. Excited to go to a new country. So that's hopefully if my visas come through. Right. So
Wait and watch.
yeah. So that, and we'll also be hitting the racetrack with a bunch of sports cars.
Yeah.
Right.
Can't say much yet.
Can't say much yet. More on that in the next podcast. Yep. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Any thoughts, any comments, drop it in the comment section below. And also, we've been actually really busy working on Evo India's 150th issue. And it is a milestone. Obviously, milestones are to be celebrated.
Yeah.
But we are celebrating it in a very radical fashion.
Yeah.
We are doing something that, honestly, we are also a little nervous about.
Yeah.
But
I don't think anything has been done like this before in India.
Nobody has done anything like this in the magazine space.
Yeah.
We firmly believe magazines have a place. We also believe that we magazine guys probably haven't innovated and probably haven't given something new for readers.
Yeah.
And everybody wants something new. You can't do the same thing over and over again and expect readers to stay with you forever.
Yeah. Don't spoil it.
Yeah, but the
Don't spoil
cover. I'm being a magazine guy for the longest time, right?
Yeah.
For more than half my life, I've been doing magazines. This is my 26th year
Wow.
of doing magazines. I love magazines. I still read a magazine before going to bed, or a book before going to bed. And this cover, oh man, I like got my hair standing.
I know what you mean.
It's gonna be so good, so good. It's just gonna knock the socks off everything.
Don't spoil it and don't build it up. Let's just let the magazine do the talking.
So 150th issue of Evo India coming up.
You'll know soon, very soon.
Yeah, we'll talk about
what
it
it's all
very
about.
soon. You've probably seen some content already on my Instagram on some of the cars that we are going to be featuring in it. But 150th issue of Evo India coming up. And lots of cars and bikes to talk about. In fact, we'll be also looking at the Flying Flea.
Yeah.
Royal Enfield's electric what?
City bike.
Scooter, motorcycle, moped.
City
What do you
bike.
call it?
It's a city bike.
What is a city bike? Is a city bike a scooter?
It's a commuter.
Moped?
It's a cool commuter.
What is a commuter? Is it a scooter?
No, it's a bike. You swing your leg over it, don't you?
So it's a motorcycle.
It's a motorcycle.
But it doesn't look like a motorcycle from any angle.
I mean, there's a motor and it has 2 wheels.
A lot of cool stuff coming up.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. This is the Evo India podcast.